From Warren Buffett's latest move for cryptos, including Dogecoin and price prediction for Doge to all the latest data and updates, let's see what exactly is happening right now. So first of all, we are now seeing that cryptos have started to trend positively during the last 24 hours. We can see here that Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, and other altcoins have been trading back in the green during this time. What it means is that cryptos have continued their rally after showing some resistance during the monthly close. So this is very positive, and it is now expected that they are going to gain more from here. And now, let's come to the big update coming from veteran investor Warren Buffett. So it looks like Warren Buffett has gotten to another class of investor about Bitcoin and cryptos. To be fair, the person in question, Joel Greenblatt, is a student of Buffett that has been molded by the mogul. But it's always disappointing when someone is so against Bitcoin and cryptos. So Joel Greenblatt said in a recent interview that he has never bought Bitcoin. He does not own any units of Bitcoin, something he appears very proud of. He said that he's quite happy that he's had the discipline all these years to avoid getting involved in the hype surrounding crypto. And he believes that Bitcoin is never going to earn any money. For him, it's speculation and he has no intelligent way to value it. He said that he is not saying people will make money speculating in Bitcoin or gold. It's alien to him as an investment because he can't value it. He believes that it has no inherent value and it has no earnings. So it appears that one of the big problems Greenblatt seems to have with Bitcoin and cryptos is that in his mind, they are never going to have true value. However, we know that there are many people in America and abroad right about now that would disagree with this sentiment. Many have been claiming that crypto is something of a hedge fund and that they are a great way to keep one's portfolio safe and steady during times of economic strife. So Greenblatt's thoughts on cryptos appear to be misguided. We know that at one point he was convinced that Bitcoin would remain at the bottom of the totem pole, but it never happened and he was wrong. So perhaps he is wrong again here. And another thing is that while Warren Buffett's student is very pessimistic about cryptos, the legendary investor is getting more and more interested in this emerging space. So his firm, Berkshire Hathaway, has recently increased exposure in Nubank, the largest fintech bank in Brazil that's also popular among the country's Bitcoin investors. As per reports, Berkshire Hathaway has disclosed that it had purchased $1 billion worth of Nubank Class A stock in Q4 of 2021. And the interesting thing is that it sold about $1.8 billion and $1.3 billion worth of Visa and MasterCard stock, respectively. So this is clearly signaling Berkshire Hathaway's shift from credit companies to get more exposure in cryptos. Meanwhile, we also know that Warren Buffett is well known for his conservative approach to investing, particularly in the hottest sectors of the market, such as cryptos. The veteran investor had also downplayed Bitcoin and cryptos, ridiculing them as assets that do not create anything. In fact, he also called Bitcoin a rat poison and stated that he doesn't want to own any crypto. However, the point to note here is that this sentiment is now shifting. Berkshire's new stake in Nubank shows that Warren Buffett has been softening up to cryptos lately. In short, the firm had already invested about $500 million in the startup in July 2021. And now, the firm has made an additional investment. So what it means is that Warren Buffett's additional investment into Nubank shows his acknowledgement of the crypto sector's underlying theme, the digitization of financial services. More importantly, it also shows his willingness to associate with companies that are involved in the crypto industry. In addition to this, we know that EaseInvest, a trading platform owned by Nubank, has been actively offering a Bitcoin ETFs since June 2021. So it appears that Nubank, which remains exposed to the growing crypto sector, could use the additional revenue opportunities to benefit its top investor, Warren Buffett. And that is primarily because of the growth of crypto-related investment products in 2021. And this is exactly why Buffett is now increasing his exposure to all these crypto investments. So the key point to note here is that while Buffett may not engage directly in Bitcoin and cryptos, he is already acquiring indirect exposure through the forays of companies in his portfolio into the crypto sector. And the Nubank investment can be interpreted as Buffett's means of expressing support for the crypto industry without reversing his previous views. In sum, I believe that the Berkshire Hathaway CEO is now indirectly supporting the crypto economy. And this is indeed a massive update for cryptos. And I think that we're now going to see more people starting to invest in cryptos like Dogecoin and Bitcoin. Moreover, people like Joel Greenblatt, who are currently ridiculing cryptos, may also change their stance. This is because Warren Buffett's growing investment in cryptos will probably bring a lot of those investors who keenly follow Warren Buffett's advice and have been apprehensive about crypto till now. And with that being said, let's come to Dogecoin's current price movements. So after a little halt in its momentum, Doge is now back in the game as it has now started to move up. We are now seeing that Doge is now trading back above the 14 cents price level, and it has been showing some positive momentum during the last 24 hours. From a technical perspective, it is now facing strong resistance from the 15 cents region. But since it is moving above its important moving averages, it is now expected that Doge is going to clear it. And once it clears this resistance level, it is highly likely that Doge is going to find support around the 16 cents price level. So what we are now seeing is that Dogecoin is gaining momentum and things are now nicely shaping up for it. And with that being said, let's come to Bitcoin for a minute. So Bitcoin's price has risen from the low of 44K to 46K high during the last 24 hours. While it is facing resistance from the 47K resistance zone, Bitcoin has corrected upward and it is now moving above its crucial moving averages. Most importantly, it is trading above the 20-day and 50-day moving averages. So on the upside, if the price rebounds above the 47K support, Bitcoin will rally to the 48K resistance level, and the bulls will attempt to break this level. And a break above 48K will catapult Bitcoin above the 50K price level shortly after it. Now, we know that Bitcoin faced a correction recently, and everyone was saying that this is the end and we are going to see another crash. However, what everyone ignored is that for any upward recovery for Bitcoin, there is bound to be a correction. In fact, we can see that Bitcoin has already begun a recovery trend after making significant gains earlier this week. We should note here that these kinds of corrections during bull rallies are always good. This is because they allow overbought indicators the chance to reset their values to become good enough once more for investors. In this way, they actually pave the way for even more money to come into the market in the wake of the correction. Meanwhile, we are now seeing that the Bitcoin network reached a milestone. So recent records show that 19 million Bitcoin have been mined. The watershed moment occurred at a block height of 730K, and now there are only 2 million left to be mined. So this is positive news for Bitcoin as its mining process is about to complete. But the most important thing to note here is that Bitcoin's issuance is programmed, mathematical, and ultimately predictable. And this is why people can estimate the time frame between difficulty adjustment changes and when the next halving occurs. So as of now, the Bitcoin network's inflation rate per annum is 1.74%, and after each halving, the annual inflation metric will continue to slide. And this just proves the fact that Bitcoin is a deflationary currency, and this is why it is better than fiat. And with that being said, let's come to Ethereum for a minute. So we are now seeing that ETH has been showing some momentum during the last 24 hours as it is now trading above the 3.4K price level. Besides, its technicals are also looking positive. Both the RSI and MACD levels are in the bullish territory, showing that there is more room for upside momentum. Meanwhile, Ethereum's on-chain data shows that more than 1.2 million ETH has exited exchanges over the past 2 weeks, and it is a sign that could be bullish for its price. So as per CryptoQuant post, the Ethereum exchange reserve has lost over 5% in value in just the last 14 days. It is important to note here that when the value of this metric goes down, it means investors are withdrawing a net amount of coins right now. And such a trend can be bullish for the price of Ethereum as holders usually take their crypto off exchanges for accumulating them. And now, let's see the top 3 best performing Metaverse cryptos. So we are now seeing that 3 low-cap Metaverse cryptos are getting a lot of traction. This includes Starlink, UFO, and Raka. These Metaverse cryptos with a low unit price are some of the most popular options for new traders and investors looking to accumulate a large number of tokens for a relatively cheap price. So let's keep an eye on them. And now coming back to Dogecoin, we are seeing that its price has been making some bullish moves already. And with all these positive things happening for it, it is now expected that Doge is going to gain more momentum from here. In any case, what are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section below.